Hey guys, um I wanted to do this video about or make a video about schools. So I went to an ASN program, associates program nursing, and I mean, I'm not gonna get too gung ho on the reason, but long story short, the reason is because I really wanted to do nursing. I have a previous bachelor, so I didn't want to go through another bachelor's program, and the accelerated program. Number one, I didn't get in to a couple schools, and number two, also it seemed really intense, and I wouldn't be able to work, which I need to work. I have bills. So I did the associates, which was quicker, and I'm able to work, which is what I'm doing now. So there was three schools I was looking into. So I was looking into Chamberlain, GCU, which is Grand Canyon University. And so those were the first two schools I was looking into. And so Chamberlain, I heard good things about Chamberlain, that it's quick and easy. Everybody, like even people that had like 1,000 things on their plate, they were able to do it with no problem. They had no issues. And it was a school that a lot of people went to that, that I know and that I researched. So that was on my list. And GCU was on my list. So both of these schools, they had a rep that came to my school to explain, car salesman, makes sound good. So they came and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. So GCU was another school, so it was cheaper than Chamberlain, so that's what got my attention. And what was the other reason? I don't know. I think it was just price. I think that just I got sold on the price. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, I'm gonna look into GCU and Chamberlain, and see what's up. So like I said, Chamberlain I ended up cutting out because of the price. It was about $500 a credit, and I have a good amount of loans. Like I have a previous bachelor's, like I've been to a handful of schools literally. So I'm like, okay, like I'll probably end up paying this out of pocket. Maybe the job that I work, like they'll end up paying for it. But most jobs, they won't end up paying for anything until you work either 6 months or a year. So I'm like, all right, so basically I'm just gonna have to be shelling all of this out of pocket. So I'm like, all right, Chamberlain can't do. So GCU was a little bit cheaper, was still a good amount. Like Chamberlain, I probably would have been taken out maybe if I did get a loan, probably like 14,000. Like it's a good amount. But I was like, okay, whatever, is a bachelor's, like cool. So I was gonna go through it. The rep was cool, and then there was like a counselor or whatever. So I was so basically I was set on GCU. So I'm gonna tell you that part. So I was set on GCU. So I'm like, okay, whatever. It seemed like a simple program. I think all I needed was 30 credits or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. The counselor, like, I don't know, like, it was just weird for me. Like, I've heard of a couple people that did GCU, but my personal experience, like, I'm like, okay, so this is before the whole financial situation. So I'm like, okay, how much would each class be? Can you send me like a breakdown of like each class? Can you send me a breakdown of how much I'll be paying monthly? Just the logistics of everything. You like all school, from my experience, all schools do that. Like before you apply, like they'll give you a breakdown. They'll at least, the least they do is send you an email like, okay, this is how much per credit, this is how much you'll be paying monthly, whatever. And for some reason GCU didn't want to do that. Like, and they're like, so at the time I'm like, okay, I'll take out financial aid and use some loans, even though I really didn't want to use that much loans, but it was less than Chamberlain. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna use my financial aid. I already put them on the FAFSA, and they're like, okay, just send us your debit card information. I'm just like, huh? Like, I'm using financial aid. Why do you need? Long story short, they wanted my credit card information on file to kind of, I don't know, I guess to make sure they get their money. But at the end of the day, if I'm filing financial aid, why not? For my experience, this is what always happens. once I file financial aid, you use that money, and then if there's any money left over, then I'll pay. Plain and simple. And they didn't want to register me. Like I don't know. It was just a bad experience, and I feel like it was too hush hush, and I feel like it was too much like behind the scenes, and being I wasn't being like I don't know. So something just told me like, all right, Mel, don't go for it. Look for something else or whatever. So I didn't want to go back to Chamberlain again because of the price. So I went to what's that website? Oh, allnurses.com. Yeah, I think it's allnurses.com. So I went on there, and because I used to go on there all the time. I was a fiend. Like, I used to go on there all the time, like when I wanted to go to nursing school and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, let me see what schools is good. So I went to allnurses.com, and I'm just looking at schools like, okay, what BSN program, RN to BSN program can I do? Because I'm not trying to, like, these city schools are very very expensive. Like, I'm in New York City, so by me I have like Pace University, I got Lehman College, like I got all these schools, but it's so expensive. Like, we have schools called CUNY schools, which are city schools, like they're funded by the city or something like that. But those schools, they want you to have all these other classes, so that alone would add up to a good amount of money. And then the other schools that were either private or whatever, it was just too expensive, and I'm like, it has to be another way. So long and behold, I found out on All Nurses about this school called UTA, which is University of Texas at Arlington. So it's a long name. So I'm like, okay, let me look into this school. When I tell you, I went, Googled, they said the entire program is only $9,000. I'm like, they try to get people. Like, what's the catch? Like, what's up? And it's legit 9,000. I'm like, oh my God, like, mind you, all these other schools want 15,000 or better, and I'm like, for a bachelor's, mind you, they probably not even gonna, like, my job is probably not even gonna, it's not gonna pay a big enough like, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm trying to say, but like, it's not like I'm gonna make $25,000 bonus because I have my bachelor's now. No, like, I took the same NCLEX as a bachelor nurse, and like, you know what I mean, it's the same thing. So it's not like, you know what I mean, I shouldn't have to pay all this money for a bachelor's when I already have the brunt of the work done. It's just basic, public health and all this other stuff, like it's basic stuff. So UTA was 9,000. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I could pay that out of pocket. So so I chose that school. So I haven't started classes yet. I start April 8th. Today is the 29th. So I start classes April 8th, and I sent over all my stuff. So basically they enroll you in the first class. Like, everybody who, no matter what classes you may need, everyone gets enrolled in this first transition nursing class or whatever, and just a other class to kind of get you familiar with the online usage, like how to go about their website. So yeah, so I'm very happy with that decision with UTA, and I think it was just a sign from God, like, okay, I guess I didn't think through like the schools I wanted to go to, and I was kind of like in a rush. But it's kind of like, what am I rushing for? I'm working, thank God, like I'm working, and what's the rush? So that happened, and I took my time and I found UTA. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, on UTA, and see how it is. I'll let you guys know like what classes I had to take, or I'm hoping I only need like 30 credits, because again, like, I have a bachelor's already, so I have like all these classes and prereqs and gen eds. Like, I have everything already. Literally, I just need like the nursing classes. So I'm hoping that's what I need. But even if I need like one class, I'm okay with that because the school is cheap. And one class, I think it's only maybe like $700 or something. It's like $250 a credit, something like that, which is still not bad. So for all my associate degree nurses or diploma nursing, whatever you call that, I'm sorry. I'm tired. Did a 3-day back to back. So yeah, so all my nurses who just have their associates, if you're looking into a bridge program, so far I would recommend UTA. That's the school I'm going for. And I'll just let you know the progress. So University of Texas at Arlington. I have to think about when I'm saying that. Like, Texas probably got so much schools. But anywho, so yeah, so that was the three schools that I can compare to. Also, I didn't look deep into what is it, WGU Western Governors University. I didn't apply or anything to that school, but I did look into that school just to see what they was about. It's pretty good because you can pretty much finish in like 6 months, but their schooling is a little bit different, especially if you want to go ahead and get your master's in nursing, or want to be an MP or a DMP or whatever the case may be. I don't know how WGU would work, because Western Governors University, I don't know how that would work because they're on a pass fail system. Weird. So I know usually when you're going for like master's programs, they want to look at your GPA and all of that. So in WGU, they don't do GPA. They just do pass fail, which I don't know. It's kind of just weird. The reason why I wasn't even thinking too much about that school is because that school is testing focused. You like test out the class or something like that. They check your competency and you take a test. I'm bad at tests, so I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do that. Next thing you know, I know the stuff, but sometimes with the testing, like I get test anxiety or whatever. So yeah, I just didn't choose that school because it's a testing school. I'm okay with doing papers and responding, and I'm a previous caseworker, so I'm okay with like doing some paperwork. Like I don't have a problem with that as much. But it might work for some people who are just really great test takers and they don't want to do the paperwork. So it just depends on you. But also think about, like, if you want to go ahead and go for your masters and stuff, because I don't know how that transition would be if they're on a pass fail and you need a GPA. So yeah, that's what I can say so far about those schools. I did a little research about all the schools. But if you have any questions about those, or any advice, whatever, just let me know. You can leave it in the comments below. Um, and I just want to thank you guys for watching, and subscribe, like, if you thought this was okay and, worthy to be heard. But yeah, so thanks again for watching, guys, and subscribe, like. Okay.